a little rundown of what's wrong with Mary, why can't she eat? There are so many factors.
Good morning.
It's morning. Peter got up super early and got all the car stuff done, inspection, everything. Now we're almost to the hospital. It's right there. Let's do this. Wow, look at the sun, or the airplane lines. That looks like it took talent to do that. We are back in the car. We had clinic, it was kind of a whirlwind, and so we didn't end up picking up the camera. But we'll update you guys when we get back to the house. We're both like, poor Peter only had 3 hours of sleep.
It's alright.
But he uploaded the wedding video this morning at 8 a.m. and you guys seem to be loving it, and we're so glad. We were really excited to share that footage with you, and yeah. So we'll see you when we get home. We might be asleep for a little bit, but we will see you soon. You kind of scared me.
I scared you. What did I catch you doing?
We're working. I feel good to be back in the working room.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been at it.
Yeah, and I'm excited. Today, I think, I didn't sleep much last night, so I don't think my lungs had a lot of time to like collect a ton of mucus. So today I felt like I had a smidge of a break from, well, let me rewind. This evening, maybe since 8 o'clock or so,
yeah.
I just feel like I've had a little bit of an easier time. Walking is still challenging, but once I'm kind of sitting and doing my thing, I feel like myself.
Good.
And I'm really thankful.
So we're packing up some orders, and we came home from the hospital and took a nap, I took a nap. Mary stayed up, and I got some rest because I was pretty exhausted.
Well, Peter only had like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more.
So we're probably gonna wrap up the store stuff and get ready for bed. So it's been, I guess not too exciting of a day, but sometimes clinic days are like that. But do you want to update them on how clinic went today?
Yes, I will. So it went as we expected. How's this as like a sit-down video?
Oh, it's wonderful.
So good. Clinic went as expected. My lung function is the same. It's low. It's not where it used to be. But we know why, and the reason, well, we think we know why. No coughing. When they did the bronchoscopy, that camera down my throat, and took the samples, that bacteria that grew, it's called, for right now it's a non-specific, but what we do know of it is it's a non-tuberculosis mycobacterium, and it's a tricky bug to treat. We are still waiting on the finalization of what species it is, but they think that we're gonna have those final results like any day. So, that being said, my lower weight, my lower lung function, and just overall not feeling well, most likely is attributed to that bacteria, because we just treated with antibiotics to treat the other things I'm growing for the last 6 weeks. And I'm on fungal treatment for that fungus that my lungs has. So like the other things are covered, my bacteria is resistant. But anyway, we've tried everything else. So we do think that that is playing a role. In the meantime, it's our responsibility to continue doing all of my airway clearance, and you guys have heard me talk about drinking Scandi shakes. Those are those calorie shakes to help give my body some of the fuel that it needs to fight these bacterias. But the problem is, as much as I'm trying and as many calories as I'm dumping into my body, unfortunately, breathing and coughing and gagging and all of the things that my body does is burning a ton of calories. So my weight is not where we need it to be. And the way that I look at it is, it's not fair to my body to expect it to fight these infections with what little I'm able to eat. So a little rundown of what's wrong with Mary, why can't she eat? There are so many factors. One, I have a very enlarged spleen. So the spleen is supposed to be up under your rib cage, a little tiny organ, and mine is down here. So my rib cage stops here and my spleen is down to here. So basically, and that's related to liver disease, portal hypertension. Google it if you're interested. So my spleen is so large and it's pressing on my stomach, which tells my stomach, you're full. You don't need to eat. But obviously that's not the reality. So that's an issue, an enlarged spleen. Another issue is just medications. Medications make you feel not hungry or maybe nauseous. Just not feeling well, like maybe when you have a cold or the flu, you don't feel like eating. Yep, loss of appetite. And then there's the issue of just burning all the calories. I need to take in so many calories. I'm not able to. And I am on...
Yeah, go ahead.
I am on an appetite stimulant, and it works sometimes. But it's just, for the last few years, my weight has been stable. And weight is a huge thing in the CF world because if your body is at like a healthier body weight, it just gives your body the ability, or it can help your body have the ability to fight better. So for the last few years, I still have had a giant spleen and I've been on meds that make me feel gross, like not being able to eat, and I still cough, 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 gag, and throw up, and that doesn't help gain weight, of course. All of these things combined, I just force myself to eat, basically. There's not a ton of pleasure in eating for me. It is what it is. But now, it's to like another level. I think my brain and my stomach just are not communicating right now. That being said, is that what you were going to say?
No, no.
Okay. That being said, whew, that was a mouthful. How's this angle?
It's good.
Oh, good. So we had a conversation about using, I don't have a stomach tube, I never have. A stomach tube meaning like a feeding tube. In the past, the reason that we haven't talked about it is because my weight has been able to be stable, even though my appetite's pretty poor. But right now, it's not stable. So what we are talking about trying is called an NG tube, nasogastric or something, nasal feeding tube. But the one that we're going to try is the one that goes, they use fluoroscopy. It's like radiology, I guess. Kind of like an x-ray. Imaging, thank you. So basically, I don't know. I've never had it. So you guys can tell me if you've experienced it. But my understanding is that basically I'll go down to the radiology suite and it's a thin tube, like a spaghetti noodle sort of thing, and they start feeding it up into my nose, and it's probably gonna make me like sneeze or my eyes water. I'm just guessing. Ooh. But whatever. I'm doing this for my body. I'm doing this to say, body, you need more nutrients. So here you go. So anyway, they feed it up in, I swallow, I probably gag, but whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then they feed it down through your throat. So it goes into your nose, through your throat. And then with this fluoroscopy, they can take an image and see that it's going all the way down. Not even just into my stomach, but past my stomach, into my small intestines, so that, and here's the brilliant part, when I cough, like I do every day, and when I gag and when I throw up, I will not throw up the contents of what we've put through the tube. Those contents, like the calorie shake or whatever we put through that tube, will go all the way down into my small intestine. And when I throw up, it won't come out, which is good, because that's a problem these days. Do you have anything to add?
No.
Whew.
Yeah, so we talked about that with her doctor. It's most likely that we're going to have to go into the hospital to start this treatment once we know, or start the treatment for her bacteria once we know what that bacteria is. And we were talking about at that point doing, I think it's called an NJ tube. So
NJ.
Yeah, so that's what we talked about today at clinic. Nothing too eventful today besides PFTs and talking about that and talking about how we're still waiting for the species of the bacteria. So that was our day at clinic.
And our hope is that, okay, so here's our hope for this NJ tube, that by getting some more calories and nutrition in, like I can only drink so many of those shakes a day. This morning before we left, I had already cough, throw up, whole 9 yards every morning, you know. And if you don't know, we have a video, we will link it in the cards right now. And it just shows kind of a glimpse of what my mornings look like. But anyway, our hope is that after a few weeks, or maybe a month, or maybe 2 months, however long it takes, that my stomach will relearn hunger, that my brain will relearn hunger, and ultimately that my body will gain back some of that body mass that my body needs to fight. So that's our hope. If it works, that would be great. If it ends up not being a good option, because I have heard that sometimes supplemental feeding works for some people and some people it just doesn't work for, and that's fine, but I think it is worth a try. And I'm like trying to mentally prepare for like when you go to the sinus doctor, they stick this thing up your nose and it's like the opposite of comfortable, and I'm pretty sure that's what this tube thing is gonna be like, but hopefully it won't feel like that the whole month, right?
Hopefully.
Hey, you want to try one with me? I'm just kidding.
I'd do it if you wanted me to.
Oh, babe.
I'll stick a piece of, it's like your game you used to play. Mary used to stick blades of grass up people's nose and you had to stay still until you flinched.
That I learned from somebody else. I did not make that game up, but that game is funny. Because it's just like when it tickles the inside of your nose, like the human response to a nose tickle, like when somebody puts a feather by somebody's nose in the movies, and it makes them like, Anyways, so that was our day today at clinic, and thanks for being part of our journey, and thank you guys for all of your love and support on our wedding videos that we posted yesterday. And let's do a replay. And
as always, we will see you tomorrow. Good night.